Hey, spiritual rebels, welcome back to Spiritual Rebel Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the collective, and we're just going to see what messages the universe has for you guys to look out for the next week or two. And welcome. Hey, I hope you guys been doing good. So, of course, I already prayed and shuffled off camera, but I'm going to shuffle again for you all a little bit on camera. But yeah, I hope everything's been good with you all. Y'all, I just realized I didn't actually meditate on your energy, before starting, but nonetheless, let's start. I don't want to keep it waiting for anymore. All right, let's see. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna keep that. Okay, so we have shadow work, card number 18. Y'all, we still in the shadow work right now. All right. Community, card number 23. Okay, so card number 18 breaks down to 9, and then the 23 to 5. So, yeah, I said shadow work as if we got this card like in the past collector reading, which we didn't, but the energy, like, nonetheless, has definitely been super, like, relevant for us. But, yeah, off rip, I'm already kind of getting that. We're kind of in, like, the part of the journey where I feel like those who have been like heavy and deeper into the shadow work, now it's kind of like you're finding your, like your soul tribe, like your spiritual family, basically, so to speak. And now it's almost like some people in the collective is kind of being prompted and pushed to kind of share their certain trials, I guess, per se, for lack of better terms, or just their journey in maybe certain parts that they already have like overcame, and then just like an exchange of like knowledge along the way. So it's like now, at least for some, of course, we're all on different timelines, but it kind of feels as if now we're kind of in the part of the journey, like in the leg of the journey, where we're kind of doing it in a communal sense, where we're kind of being pushed to, some people may be pushed to start platforms, some are like quite literally just bumping into and like meeting new people, part of like their spiritual tribe or like spiritual family and community. And maybe you're coming across certain like mentors or people like in the field that you're looking to get in or you are in, and they're just kind of helping you even more like along your path, like, and this can probably even be more than just shadow work, but because of the shadow work and like the inner work that you've already done, it's kind of like pushing you further onto your path that you're supposed to be on or like meant to find at the time. So yeah, it's kind of almost given like, because you did the work, which I believe like some of the signs from like this past week of like the individual signs on like readings that I did, some of them I remember had like this kind of same theme of this same message, where it's like, because you did like the inner work, now you're kind of being pulled gravitationally towards those that you are starting to get like aligned with, or certain situations that you're starting to align to as well. And I'm seeing 1244, so I don't know if 44 is a common theme that I've been seeing as well. But so with 5 over here, that just kind of like drew me towards this again. It's kind of given like big changes. So again, you could be meeting new people or coming across those. I'm almost getting like past people coming back. So of course I always say like, just be discerning, be mindful of who you let back. Just like be discerning of who you let back in, and you make sure that you have certain boundaries in place prior to certain ones that you do like ultimately decide like is okay to kind of be in your space. Like maybe y'all just needed time to kind of sort things out like personally within yourselves, and then now you understand how that person could kind of, or how they've made certain changes like within themselves as well, to be able to still be a part of like your network, your community. So like whether that be family, friends, love, work, in whatever sense you take it, how that resonates with you. Of course, this is like a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone just the same, or it may in different ways. But and even if it's not past people and those who you don't feel like you should bring back into your like current situation, be firm with that, and it's okay. that's just all a part of like the self-love and like your journey and like the boundaries that you've learned to set for yourself and around you. But shadow work is still very much so like prevalent, but because the 18 breaks down to a 9, it is giving me like towards the end of it more so, and you are almost at the end to the 10, and then like once the end, of course, back to the 1, which is a brand new beginning. But now it's like you're almost, I'm getting that you are being prompted to like a new, yeah, you're being sent like different people, like whether it be for like a new network for business or love or friends, or again soul family vibes. Under here says in your bag. So yeah, this could definitely be like new job, new work, or finding your purpose essentially. And this could be like you literally going into like a new field than what you were in before. So yeah, big changes for some of y'all here in the collective that I am getting with these two cards. So I mean, just as an example, like you could have been probably working for, I don't know, like at like a dental like office or something, or like some corporate, and then now you kind of found like your I know the term that you say like your passion project, but that you turned like lucrative, or like, you know, like you're kind of finding like your purpose and like your calling into the world right now too. So like that can be very much so like the vibe that I'm getting here. So it's like because you did the shadow work, it kind of led you to you know, be fearless in trying to find your passion and what really like resonates with you. So it's kind of like that certain expression that I like to use, or like that phrase where it's like doing what you want, and just getting out the mind frame of doing what you thought you had to. But of course, you know, that kind of leads to being like your livelihood as well. So that's dope. I love that. I love where we're at with it. And under there, finds an oracle, tidy up. So start. Okay, yeah. So you're getting out of that stuff. Yeah. Stuck energies, stuck cycles, and that's beautiful. Okay, collective. I see y'all. Yeah. Find an oracle. Okay, dope. So you're probably seeing signs, or like you kind of been led to maybe like your fellow spiritual people, hey, so kind of like help you like along your path, and just finding those that kind of that like resonate with you, and you know, certain like messages or things along that's just helping you to take heed to certain signs or things that's just a part of like your journey and stuff too. So that's dope. Love that for y'all, collective. Or for us, excuse me, collective. We all in this together. I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the tarot, and let's just dive a little bit deeper and see what they want us to know in regards to this certain part of the journey. I know y'all gonna be tired of me saying this, but you already know I'm gonna say. I already shuffled off camera, but I'm gonna shuffle a little bit again for y'all. I already did this, and I just did it again. I had to get some water real quick, so I'm sorry. Got distracted there. Okay, let's see. And I did post the individual signs. I did like y'all readings like last week, so please check those out. And I also am doing a pick a card too that I'll be posting, I believe, after this one too. So please check that out as well. And then we'll be doing individual signs again next week. Put that back. Will we see that? Oh. Okay, so we got Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Nine of Cups, and bottom of the deck we have the Devil card. Don't freak out. Let's relax. Let's get into it and see the energy. Yeah, I was gonna say, okay. So yeah, like I mentioned a little bit ago, we are kind of getting out of like that certain part and leg of the journey where, you know, we had to, like I like to use that term, kind of like army crawl our way, you know, through like this past cycle. It's been like a lot of just, I'm also like, you know, I don't like using the term stuck, but kind of like stagnant type of like energy. Maybe for some of us it could have been certain like attachments we had to the past, whether it be people, things, or like vices. It could be like addictions and things of that sort. So So take it how it resonates with you, of course. For some, it definitely could have been where you could. I'm also getting like going out a lot to kind of like escape or like get away, so to speak, whether it be like mentally or quite physically. Quite like literally away from things you had to face head on, and that's and then like that in itself kept you a little stagnant or like moving a little bit slower to kind of get to your goal and like get to a better place and more clear-headed, clear-minded in your journey as well. um and just being okay with essentially like facing your demons, so to speak. So certain like addictions could have held you back, certain vices. It could have been not just drinking and drugs or sex, but it could have also just been like certain thoughts, as well, certain people that you kept around that weren't conducive to your growth as you're trying to head to the next step or next phase of your life. So we are slowly getting out of that, like I mentioned. So that's just like a double confirmation there for me. And so like now you are kind of getting in a place where you're, being more clear headed and more ready to plan, execute, and just kind of slay your demons. I'm kind of getting with like, her sword of truth, and it's like clarity and like justice almost, so to speak, too. It's like now you're listening to like intuition, like you are going with more like matter of fact and seeing things how they are as is. Like it's like you're quite literally getting more clarity. So those who probably were in like a state of just being stuck in their certain vice, they could quite literally be sobering up too. Like that, just to, again, take that how that. Hey, sorry y'all, but it was also giving very much so like working on like throat chakra and being more clear in speech and just like really like using your voice and like not like wavering like I'm doing right now, but like being more clear in thought as well as communicating what you're thinking and having more confidence and just projecting yourself and just trying to heal like your throat chakra and be more confident in speech as well. All right, back to the reading. Thanks. Bye. Sorry. Just take that how that fits with you. If it does, or if it doesn't, that's fine. Just don't take it. So yeah, it's like it was very like, that's why I said I'm like army crawl your way out of there, because it was like, what's that? I don't want to mess it up, but it's like drudging or like drudgerous or like not treacherous, but like it was so hard to kind of like get out of, like you're like literally like crawling your way out of that certain cycle. It still takes a lot of patience. Like you are coming out of that. It's slow. It's not. I'm not even gonna try to. Like I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat or even lie to you, make it sound sweeter than what it is. But it definitely it is looking like it wasn't. It wasn't easy. It still isn't the most easiest, but like nonetheless, it does get better, which is the good part. So you are gonna get to a place, like if you're not already, where you are planning out. You're getting more like organized and more like an organized type of like energy and vibe. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water. My mouth keeps drying up here. And it's like, so it's like as a result of you gaining more clarity and more perspective, it is going to lead you towards, like your wish fulfillments and things that are going to just make you more happy and like emotionally full. Like you'll feel more fulfilled as well. Like you'll be like accomplishing goals or like close to like the end goal for you, and you are going to get into a more just happy and more satisfied phase, like in your journey too. So get clear, get organized, and also some of you could quite literally be cleaning up your space, like getting like more organized, more clear. You probably like clearing stuff out, getting rid of clothes, getting rid of stuff, and getting rid of like clutter and stuff that you just have around that is also not as conducive to like your physical space as well. And like I always say this, and I'll always say it again, I'm a firm believer in a clear space, you know, that does, I'm like, that does, excuse me, y'all, I can't find my words right now. It is conducive to like a more, like clearer thought, clearer mind. So clear space, clear mind. Very, very, very great believer in that. So like it's giving that energy too. But yeah, some of you are going to be making cuts and ties from people that you probably like escaped with in the past, or like an old soul family, soul tribe, or not soul family, but like a certain group of people that you probably like were used to like being around, who just may not be for your best interest, and you're kind of now like, when you have the courage like to let that go, then you're gonna be like naturally led by spirit and like God and like the divine, the universe, or just whatever you believe in. You're gonna be led to the people that are meant for you along your path and your journey, who's gonna be like more conducive for your growth and gonna help you grow, and you're gonna help them as well. You know, like one of the other things I do believe in a lot is symbiotic type of relationships, like just like an even exchange essentially, because it's like, how can I be of use to you and how can you be of use to me? But essentially it's like we're feeding like each other, right? So like you don't want to like overtake, you don't want to like overgive of yourself. You always want to make sure that your cup is filled and you have enough to also fill into someone else's cup as they are to yours. So that's how the world grows, guys. Okay, so let's pull from, I kind of want to pull from my fairy oracle deck. So yeah, let's use that one, something different. See what our fairies have to say, because this deck be too real. They be speaking. Let's see what they got to say with this. Yeah, I'm trying to be cute and not do it on the cards, because it'd be really like pushing my whole setup away. I'm like, ugh. Okay. Okay. Nah. Greed. What came of picking flowers? Card number 23, that comes out to a 5. So kind of, yeah, again with the theme of the 5 here. So again, big changes. So this also kind of gives me like with the green, like it naturally just kind of gives me more like the heart chakra healing kind of vibes as well. So just trying to heal like your past ways. If some of you were probably more like closed off, like an emotional state, I'm kind of getting that type of vibe, and it's like you're healing now. And it's funny, whenever I see this, the what came of picking flowers, I'm doing this all like intuitively, by the way. Intuitively, by the way. So what I get, sorry, the video kind of cut off there. It reminds me of this one. It was like a story where or like a meme that I used to see like years ago, where I don't know if this really was a quote. I don't know if it was like a Mahatma Gandhi quote or some other like, it was like an older spiritual leader. I think it was a Gandhi quote. I don't know. I could be wrong. But like basically, it was just like, if you see a flower that you like and it looks nice, it's like beautiful, like don't pick it, right? It's almost like appreciate it. I just seen like 101, by the way. It says like appreciate it like as it is, like in its natural state, because the way you appreciate it, someone else could kind of come across it, and like that can, like just kind of like give them joy too. So it's like when you pick it, that's just gonna take like the essence away, and it's like so it's like if you pick it, then it dies, but if you like leave it to grow, it'll continue to like flourish, and like it'll give more people joy like when they come across it too. So it's like if you love it, you leave it, like essentially too. So And that always reminds me of that. But it can also mean like quite literal greed. So like maybe you have been having certain like addictions, or you're like indulging. Like it could be, I'm also getting that with like the community card, with like food or like sweets or certain treats where you probably feel like, okay, like I know I shouldn't be, I'm like overeating this, or like I'm not even that hungry, but I have a tendency to kind of do it. Some people can be doing it subconsciously to kind of just cover up as well, like certain things or problems like internally that they should probably be facing as well. Like it comes in different ways, but food is like a natural like addiction that, or excuse me, like not natural, but it's a common addiction that does happen like within society. But like we just have like normalized it so much, especially like if you live like in the US, like how the portion is, and like how we are compared to a lot of different places and like countries like around the world. It's not the same, but that's just how, and greed kind of drops me to like the Nine of Cups too. This is like actually very similar, because it's essentially kind of like it's like the over indulgence card too. So it's like you want to just be careful and just make sure that you're always like balancing out things that you're getting. So like even as you leave certain vices, or as you're also heading to more like a wish fulfilled state as well, it's like be careful and don't like overindulge as well. Just take everything in stride, just a little bit of everything, because too much of a good thing could not be so good as well. But yeah, that definitely ties in for sure. Okay, let me pull another card as well. Okay, so we have the Sight, number 43, Fairy Ointment. So when I see this card, it definitely gives me, for sure, for like my like, well, like before I get into that, but when I touched base on earlier, like how people are getting more like clarity, and like you're heeding like your intuition, and you're getting more clear in thought as well, and like you're working through like the shadow work and just all the past attachments and past things as well. It's like now you're getting a more clear vision of what you want things to look like, and you're in a more steadier state, a more balanced state to be able to like manifest, or to be like remotivated, or have more like energy, or just more fearlessness and courage towards you going towards like your passions and like your soul calling, and like your purpose essentially too. So that's dope. But again, what I was also gonna say is this also gives me vibes of like my fellow like empaths, and my like intuitives, my spiritual. And actually I was gonna say earlier, or I think I did mention this actually, I think I mentioned at the beginning when I first pulled out this oracle card, and these that those who are being pushed to do like a platform, like spiritual like content, or certain like messages and downloads that you may be getting to, this just kind of further confirms that you may be like in a more fruitful phase or state in your journey to be able to do so as well. And it's funny because like if you're watching this around the time when this actually comes out, like whether it be now or like months or years later from this video, but like even for me personally, it's like I finally started like this channel. Like it's been officially like a month now, but for years, like I literally been called to do this, but I don't know, like I just wasn't in the state, or felt as if I just kept putting it off essentially, probably feeding myself like baseless like excuses or just things like that, or I probably didn't feel as prepared enough, but I was always pushed and guided to do so. But I guess better late than never in this case. So I finally did just take that leap of faith and just go ahead and started it too. So I probably I'm not overthink too much. I just want everything to be just right and perfect and but you're not in control of that timing. We just have to, as humans, just like humble ourselves and like remember that everything's on like divine timing. So just follow that calling and that heat that you're meant to, just be pushed into your purpose, or like one of your purposes and your passions too. Because for years, like I would literally do readings for different people, or like I'd even like record some, but I just never posted it too. So yeah, again, those in that group that can relate, that is for you too. Deception, the juniper tree, card number 7. So this kind of almost gives me like a 7 of swords, or even like my devil vibes. It's funny, I just said like I was feeding myself like these, and oh yeah, it's another 7 7, so you'd probably be seeing 5s and 7s as well right now, and 9s. I forget, that's repeating too. But it's like this is given like self-deception, and also those around you. But you know how like sometimes like that voice in your head can probably, like the fears and doubts can be like more louder than like, it can be like more louder than like those words of encouragement that you have for yourself, or that certain like intuitive voice that just tells you and like steers you the right way that you're supposed to be going along your path and journey. And just like you haven't like that inner trust and like that knowledge that you know you have to just follow suit and let things flow and surrender to divine and the universe, God, and just your spiritual counsel and like what path they have laid out for you. But this again can also go back to the message that I said of some of the collective moving away from those who kind of like kept them in a space of like stagnancy, or maybe like your non-well wishers who don't want the best for you, and that self-dialogue, like the inner talk that you have to yourself that kind of keeps you like in a place that's stuck. So yeah, these messages are definitely repeating itself. Yeah, they're repeating for sure. And let me just look at the back, I'm kind of curious. Card 21, the 12 dancing princesses, enchantment. So this is beautiful. It's almost like you're coming out of a place of like, it's like you can see like the magic around you and like the possibilities. This is the vibe that I'm getting. And it's like you're trusting your third eye chakra, and it's like you're believing in the magic again as if you were a child, like when you just believed and were fearless without like any fears. And it's like you see like the beauty in life and the things around you and like the signs that you see. Though it's crazy, it's like oh my gosh, but like you're just starting to like be one with that instead of trying to like resist like against the natural flow of life. So that's dope. All right, guys, that is the message that I have for you today for the collective. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I pray these messages do help you along your journey, your path. And okay, just one more thing. I am seeing 111 again, like 111. So yeah, new beginnings for y'all. But please, nonetheless, please like, share, and subscribe. Help me grow, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, collective.